dazzling lights, spectacular settings, and outstanding costumes. But where did it all come from? Why hasn't it travelled? And who actually watches pantomime? In this programme, I want to find the answers, and to do that, I'll have to do my research. I'll also be talking to industry professionals such as actors and directors to get their thoughts and opinions. But before all that, I'm off to speak to some friends to see what they think the meaning of pantomime is.
Just a big barrel of laughs. It's constant banter. I think that's the best way of putting it.
It's like a sort of fun day out for the kids, but also the adults as well.
The audience are very much part of the show. It's like everything's heightened, all the statuses are like raised, everything is like so much more dramatic. It's basically like an old-fashioned soap.
Not too serious, a bit of a laugh, something in it for everybody. So we go from the kids right up to grannies and grandpas. It's something that everybody will enjoy.
It's a bit like a crazy musical where the audience run in half the jokes before they happen.
Pantomime is a piece of theatrical entertainment mainly for children and families at Christmas and New Year time, involving lots of singing, dancing, acting, topical jokes and slapstick comedy, usually set to a fairy tale. A few weeks ago, I went to the Webster's Theatre in Glasgow to speak to the cast about the characters they're playing in this year's A Belter of a Cinderella Story.
So normally Cinderella is like, you know, princess character that she's like living at home, she's getting bossed around and she's like cleaning up after everybody. But this year, because the Belter of a Cinderella, she's like a Glaswegian princess, so she's more down to earth and she's more like chatty and she's got a lot to say for herself. And she fancies Prince Charming because instead of the normal like prince, like the fairy tale that it's like a prince, P. Charming is in this as like a rapper, so it's kind of more like a current, up-to-date princess that you know how you fancy people off the TV. So it's just maybe like a modern spin on a classic.
This year I am playing the fabulous fairy godmother. I saw Cinderella's godmother, fairy godmother.
This year I'm playing P. Charming in A Belter of a Cinderella Story. The character's role within the story is essentially like the sort of love interest. He's an international pop superstar of Pantoland. So it's basically, my role was to rap and do some questionable dancing and then do some questionable singing as well.
My character is Whitney, the evil stepsister. You've kindly not called me ugly this year. However, I'm meant to be the ugly, evil stepsister. So she runs Cameron House in the pantomime where everybody works and isn't very nice to Cinderella and everybody else.
I'm playing Buttons, who's Cinderella's best friend. He's kind of in every Cinderella pantomime. I think he's kind of the silly Billy type character that's kind of developed over the years, that is always a Buttons.
So now that we've looked at pantomime in general, I'm here at Vivace Theatre School to speak to Joyce McClelland, who runs the company here in Glasgow. Hi Joyce, what do you see your role as within Vivace Theatre School?
We're a small company, so I wear many hats. Overall I'm probably producer. I'm there to support the director, the choreographer. I'm also sourcing costumes and props and generally making sure that all of the different pieces come together and make a cohesive piece.
And while I was there, I met Anne Mitchell, who's an acting coach here at the school.
My role in pantomime is co-director.
I would be coaching the actors and blocking the scenes.
What do you think a good pantomime should include?
A good pantomime should appeal to everybody, every age group. It should appeal to tiny kids through the lights and the costuming and some physical humour. It should appeal to older kids through jokes, popular music, and right through to adults with some innuendo and varied music in terms of things from different generations that everybody can buy into.
It's fun and it's like what you do at Christmas. Basically, it is what you do at Christmas. Everybody goes to see panto, brings people in for the Christmas season. What makes a panto a good panto is the comedy.
How do the different groups of students that come to Vivace deal with pantomime and producing a pantomime?
Over the years we've produced quite a few pantomimes with our young people, and different groups struggle with different elements of it because panto is huge, it's really larger than life. Our musical theatre kids tend to get on really well with the singing and dancing side of it, but struggle to make the acting as big as it needs to be because it needs to be so out there. Whereas I would say the reverse is probably true of our acting students. They find that really easy and they embody the characters brilliantly, but the singing and dancing isn't a core part of their course, so that's something really new to them. So panto is always a challenge, but it's always great fun.
And do you think there is a specific group of people that go to see pantomime?
The groups that come to see panto, I would say from every age and background. Even a 5-year-old can sit through panto because it's fast pacing. So it's tailored for children. It's also tailored for adults. So we have quite a few jokes in it that adults would find a bit naughty, and children it would go right over their heads if it's done really well. It's fast pacing for everybody. In fact, within the country it does it. So a lot of people come to see it, and when I've spoken to anyone from foreign countries, they've heard of it, and would like to see it, but they've never went along to see it. Some have, but most have heard of it.
I think it is often, for some people, the one theatrical production they make a real effort to go to see. So every Christmas it is the family tradition that they're going to go and see a pantomime. I don't think it. I think it's completely classless. I think everybody enjoys a really good pantomime.
Now we're going to talk to Brice, who is a French assistant here at Bellison Academy, to see what his preconceptions are about pantomime. Have you ever been to a pantomime?
I've never been to a pantomime before.
Have you ever heard of pantomime?
I did in a drama class. It must have been 4 years ago, so I don't really remember it. I know what it's about, but...
And so what do you think it's about?
I think it's about... I think it's very different, first of all, between the French, what we call pantomime and what you call pantomime. I think yours is only Christmas or something like that, and ours is more part of the mime study and everything. So I think yours must be pretty much the same history. I think it's pretty close to La Commedia dell'arte, because you've got the same characters. Well, maybe not the same characters, but some characters are very recurrent. Personally, I don't think we have this kind of drama that is not a musical, but close to it. I don't think we have that. I've never seen one, anyway.
What are you expecting to see at the pantomime?
I have no idea. I'm just waiting to see. I'm definitely waiting to see a man dressed up as an old lady and a girl dressed up as a young, beautiful man. But that's...
And are you looking forward to seeing the pantomime?
Yes. I think it's an experience and I really want to see it and to make my own opinion on it. I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
And while Brice is off seeing his first ever pantomime, let's see if anyone knows where this 500-year-old tradition comes from.
I have no idea. None whatsoever.
I know it comes from the UK, but no. It's maybe something to do with the court jesters and things like that.
Is it Commedia dell'arte? I think it is something like that. It was like in Italy, originated in Italy.
We'll blame it on the Greeks. I really don't know.
Way back, before I was born, there was the Commedia dell'arte, and there was characters like the pantaloon, there was like the dirty old man, and there was the guy that played like sort of princess, and there was the hero guy, and there was like, you know, I think it was about 6 or 7 different very strong parts, and ever since then it went into a bit of mime, pantomime, I think.
I'm not very good with all this. I know that it was based on Commedia dell'arte.
Panto is a traditionally British art form. I know that it stems from Commedia dell'arte, but I don't know how that transition happened. That's all I know about it.
Traditionally known as Commedia dell'arte all'improviso, this form of theatre was originally from Italy in the 1500s, translated into English as Comedy of the Craft of Improvisation. In the 16th century, it was a type of theatre intended for entertainment in which actors would improvise and perform sketches to audiences. Whilst portraying stock character roles, each character would take on an individual emotion. Often these emotions were as a result of the character's social class. Since then, it's come a very long way in Britain and indeed in Scotland, with the likes of the Crankies, Elaine C. Smith, Des Clark, Michelle McManus and Karen Dunbar regularly starring in pantomimes all over the country at Christmas and New Year time. But for now, it's time to revisit Brice to see what he thought of the pantomime he saw.
You've now been to your first pantomime. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy the pantomime, it was very nice. Yes, I really had a great time. There were certain aspects of it I didn't like. I didn't like the clown-esque kind of acting, but I knew I wouldn't, so it's fine. And I'm not much the person who likes to be included in the play when I'm in the audience. But when the clown-esque guy came on stage and you had to yell his name, I couldn't do it. Maybe I'm just too posh or something, I'm too French for that, but I just couldn't do it. It was just not my thing.
What did you enjoy about the pantomime?
I did enjoy the songs. I think they are amazing singers, amazing dancers, amazing performers in general. I think they are very good in what they do, even though it's a bit, too played, like you can tell it's played. But they are definitely good with it. I think for children it's very nice, very, very nice. I think it's just that I'm not the right public for it, so it's fine. It was fun, I loved it. I loved the idea of how they would include news and actual facts of nowadays in fairy tales. I love that a lot. I think in a way they do not think the audience is stupid or anything. They actually include them in those between the lines things you have to get, so it's fine. I loved it, I love that.
Would you ever go back to see a pantomime?
I think so. I think it's the kind of play you need to watch maybe twice to actually get all of it. Like they had an accent, a very, very big accent, a very Scottish accent. So sometimes it was a bit difficult for me to understand. But yes, I think there are a lot of details and things you can't see first, and going back you say, oh, okay, I get why they say that and I understand more why they would do that. Yeah, I really had a great time.
My favourite pantomime is actually Cinderella, I think, because, I don't know, hopeless romantic. I love a big romantic pantomime.
That's a wee bit difficult because you can't help but enjoy whatever you're doing at that time.
Wednesday and Dorothy are quite good girl parts because they're not like someday my prince will come.
Oh, I'm telling lies, Peter Pan.
I love Cinderella. I think it's a really strong story. I think it is just a favourite.
Peter Pan for the flying, but I'm also
living up to my character a wee bit as well, and I quite like to see if anything goes wrong with the flying.